Hey guys, it's Sophia and welcome back for another video. So, The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, it came out today, or it comes out tomorrow. I'm filming this the day before because I got my hands on an ARC and it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. 5 bajillion out of 5 stars. I am obsessed with this series. The first book I loved, but like the second book was absolutely fantastic. I immediately went afterwards and read basically all of the fan fiction I could find for The Cruel Prince after reading The Wicked King. It was so good. So it's the second book in the Folk of the Air series. The Cruel Prince is the first one, and it follows Jude after The Cruel Prince ends. If you haven't read The Cruel Prince, go and read that. I can't really say anything about The Wicked King because it'll spoil The Cruel Prince, so if you haven't read it, Wicked King is fantastic, Cruel Prince is really good. Go read these books, they're so good, and then come back for the spoilery section. Bye! Okay, for those people who have read it and are good with spoilers, oh my god! Okay, so we start off with Maddox trading Jude and Taryn, and oh, that's fantastic because they still don't know if he's like actually going to kill them or not. And like, first of all, I love their relationship because he's their father figure, but he also murdered their parents, so that creates like it creates this awesome dynamic. I love it. And then Jude and Cardon. Oh, okay. I ship them so hard, and it'd be one thing because they're both kind of like morally, morally obscure. Is that the right word? They don't have perfect morals, and their morals like kind of like the opposite of each other. So Jude is like fine with killing people, but she tries to be like a nice person, whereas Cardon, his only thing is that he doesn't kill people, that he's not a murderer, and so they're equals in their own way, and so the dynamic between them is so fantastic and I love it. And oh, it's so good. So, okay, so the beginning, Maddox training them, and I love how Holly keeps referring to that chapter, I think it was the prologue, where he's training them throughout the book to reference Jude using all of the lessons that her parents' murderer has taught her as she tries to rule a fairy court. I also love how it shows Jude and Cardon separately like developing as their characters. The character arcs are fantastic. They are so friggin' good. So Jude, who has been powerless her entire life, suddenly finds herself craving more and more power. And I love how that like also references back to The Cruel Prince and Dane saying when he asked her what she wanted before she became a spy, Dane she said, "I want to be your knight." And Dane's like, "Okay, well then what would you want after it? If you give someone a golden thread, they're gonna, if you give someone a golden needle, they're going to want a golden thread." And I love how this is like the same thing. She has a little bit of power and she wants more and more and more and more. And we also see Cardon filling into his role as High King, and by the end finally like developing some sort of like responsibility. Him taking on some responsibility and developing as a character and fighting for what he wants. I mean, like when Jude was taken to the undersea and like he got him back, and then afterwards, oh, the ending, oh my god, when he okay, so they're married now, which is fantastic, and I love that whole like scene because she's like unsure. I mean, she's unsure if she wants to marry him because that would mean that in turn she'd have to drop her control of her, and she's not ready to give up that power. And even after he, but before she proposed his marriage, it was like a flat out no. But even after he proposed his marriage, she still doesn't want to give it up, and I love that. And okay, but so they're married, and I love how Cardon learned to scheme. I mean, because he was just like cruel before, but he didn't know how to plan, how to scheme, and like Jude does, and so he's finally like becoming Jude's equal in that way as well, and it's fantastic. And okay, but also, and okay, so so after Jude relinquishes her control over him, he accesses the magic of the High King, believing he's really High King because he has control over everything, and instead of Jude having control over him and thus over everything. And so he schemed without her, and he exiled her to the mortal realm. Oh, that ending! Oh, I'm so glad that, because I was reading, I was in the middle of reading this, and I was like looking at like fan fiction because they hadn't gotten to the point where they were a thing yet. They haven't done anything yet. So I'm over here like finding fan fiction on AO3, and I almost spoiled myself, but thank God the thing had a spoiler warning for The Wicked King, and I didn't get spoiled at the ending. I'm so happy because that killed me. And I cannot wait for the next book. I cannot believe I have to wait a year for this. But their relationship, I love it, and I love how like they keep saying that they hate each other, even though we all know they do not. And I love it. 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 What else? I like how the whole Taryn and Locke thing, that she's stuck with Locke, and it shows like how awful like our mistakes are and how blind we are when we're blinded by like how blind we are when we're blinded. Great going, Sophia. How we could be blinded by the people we care about and not see what they really are. I mean, Locke tried to murder her sister, and she like, Jude doesn't even think Taryn like will believe her over Locke. I mean, like, what the hell? But it's awesome nevertheless. The ending was fantastic. I already said that. Their relationship is fantastic. Vivi, I just love Vivi in general, although, I mean, I love how when she has Heather come over to the fairy court, she doesn't understand, because Jude and Taryn never let her really see how horrible the fairyland is for mortals, and so she doesn't take precautions, and she uses fairy magic, and she lets go of like her own like sense of morality, like this is what you do, this is what you don't do, you don't enchant your girlfriend or your sisters to make them do what you want to do. And I love how she's like also paying for the consequences of that. So it's not like everything can be solved by fairy magic, because I mean like guilt rules over everybody, which made her give Heather her memories back, and now she's paying for the consequences. Oh, okay. I also love seeing into Cardon's past when he was a child, so we understand how he became the way he is now, because it's one thing to be told that he hates Jude, because even though Maddox murdered her parents, he still loves her, even though she's not his child, while his family doesn't love him, even though he is related to them by blood. I love the fact that it shows that blood doesn't guarantee love, which is fantastic. Because we don't see that as much as we should in YA books. But seeing into Cardon's past and seeing how he was treated before, it really like gives us into his character and makes us understand why he is the way he is now, which allows us to sympathize with him and understand and like not hate him and like completely ship him with Jude, which, duh. I also love the fact that, well, not the fact, there's this one scene where Jude is practicing her swordsmanship in front of the mirror and says, "It's still not enough, I can never beat her," and she's struggling with herself and with what, like, her desire for power and influence and her desire for Carden, and she can't like stop herself from wanting these things, and it's so freaking good. I want to know more about Carden's mother and like how she ended up in the Tower of Forgetting, and I'm so pumped for the next book because, like, this one is so good. Comment down below what you thought of it, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me. Make sure to like this video, click that subscribe button. What else is there? Like, subscribe, you know the drill. Yeah, thank you for watching. Bye!